Yes, good night, everyone. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudi Crest Show. I know that many persons have been looking and waiting for an episode like this, but of course, tonight, people, it's a short notice, but I couldn't let this one pass. Not at all. We couldn't let this one pass. And when you look at what we're on a short discussion tonight, what we are really here tonight. Big news, and I'm sure by now everybody, it's worldwide, would have known by now that our reggae boy, our reggae under 17 team qualified for the World Cup. And I'm sure this is in Qatar. We have the assistant coach with us, but in a while, just take this.
So the Crest TV are the best TV. Come on, turn up the vibes. It's Saudi Crest TV, home of sports, entertainment, and education, bringing you the stories, the music, and the energy that move Jamaica. Saudi Crest TV are the best TV. From the classroom to the stage, Saudi Crest TV keep you informed, inspired, entertained.
Yes, not just the Saudi Crest TV. We talk about from the classroom to the stage. Who else can talk to us about the classroom to the stage? Who is better at this time than the big coach himself, the assistant coach of the Reggae Boyz under 17 team, Coach Vassel Reynolds? Welcome again to the Saudi Crest Show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. And good night to your viewers and listeners.
Hey, you hear that? Good night, the people. I must boss it. It's how long this man no come for the show. A big qualification getting here.
No, you understand why I you have not gotten me on the show. I was out there busy for this, preparing for this occasion, you know.
Preparation. Oh my God, it was a joy though. But Pastor, congratulations to you, your coaching staff, headed by Coach Dunswell and your other staff, the entire coaching staff. This has been a long road, I believe. Well, to me, it's a long road because you have been looking at just recently you had missed out. Yes, and now you are here for this second time, I believe, in the World Cup the World Cup under 17 team. And all these times, Coach Dunswell was the coach or the head coach, I must say. But big congratulations to you and your boys. How is it? Talk to us about the celebration before I get into the other games.
Yeah, man, extremely proud of everybody involved. The coaching staff, the medical staff, the management staff, and most importantly, the players themselves, and the support that the federation would have given us in preparation for this occasion. I took this 1 year very personal. I was a part of that group in 2023. We went pretty close. 2025, we went maybe about 15 minutes to qualify for the World Cup, and we didn't make it. And I told people that we would have been better prepared for this one. So this one was my third attempt as part of the staff, and so very elated to have achieved this goal. And I'm proud of everybody involved.
Coach, the truth of the matter is, I would have asked what you believe your chances were, but I'm sure that you'll tell me that you know you would be qualifying. But looking at the group, this last group that you had placed in, let us know, what was the preparation like, knowing you're going up against, two so-called weak teams and a big giant in CONCACAF?
Well, let's rewind the clock a little bit. From the draw was done, we recognize that it would have boiled down to this last game. Not taking anything away from Aruba or Cayman, but we figure more or less that the team that we have would have gotten past those two games, you know. We did that, and lucky enough, we did that well enough to have gotten going into this last match with the advantage in terms of goal average. So pretty much we would have achieved that sort of objective that we wanted. 2 victories with some goals going into to get us the advantage going to this Canada game. Pretty much we scouted the Canadian team, and we were pretty certain that once our boys execute based on our plan and our preparations, it would have given us a good chance to beat this Canadian team. Good team, but we figure more or less that we have the capacity, and we're just hoping that the boys would have, um, execute based on training and based on the plan. So I thought that they executed the plan pretty well. Most importantly, we decided that we were going to defend the advantage that we have as much as possible, and try to get a goal or two. And it pans out that way. Good show both ends at the pitch. We did very well.
Coach, over the years, I'm not sure if you have this position or how you feel about it, but I personally believe many times that we had failed our bid to the World Cup would have, come because the preparation period was either short or inadequate, funding and all of that. Talk to us about the preparation going into this World Cup qualified.
This one was not as ideal as that we would have wanted. Started pretty late, and then with the hurricane, it would have set us back somewhat. But I think what we did, we got together as a staff, and with the support of the federation, we were very efficient in terms of our practice and our camps. Didn't get a chance to play any international games in terms of preparation, because that is always very vital in terms of preparation. But I think we're very efficient and very strategic in terms of the preparation over a short period of time, because we recognize that the time was short, and so we had to be very efficient and focus on game related stuff and all of that. And up to the final detail before this last one, we sat down as a group, and we put a plan in place, shared it with the players, and I thought everybody executed quite well tonight.
No international games, no practice, no international practice game. That always be the big thing. But the truth is, without that, were there any doubts? Were there any concerns going into this tournament without an international practice game?
Yes, somewhat. The good thing about it, we have a few players who would have gained experience from the last attempt, the last under 17 team. It was basically the same coaching staff with the addition of Coach Downswell as the head coach. So a lot of experience went into the planning of this one. So we were a little bit concerned, but based on the experience that the coaching staff had from the last one, especially, and with Mr. Downswell coming in, we thought we had it in us to compete against what it turned out to be the Canadian team as the main challenge, and it ended up that way. And it's good that what we would have shown based on the preparation, we did pretty well. I mean, going into a game against a Canadian team, I need that draw and to come out 3-1 victors. It shows that we can match up with the big wigs in CONCACAF. And as you said before, the preparation is going to be vital going forward, and I'm certain that we'll get the full support from the JFF with the limited resources that they have, and of course we'll reach out to other stakeholders, the diaspora, the private sector, to lend support in properly prepare these boys for the World Cup of November.
Coach, the reality about this preparation is very difficult for Jamaica based on our limited resources. And you talk about that. I love the wagon thing, for my country, me on top of things as well. So I'm sure that the JFF will go all above, above and beyond to ensure that resources come in. The government too, you're at the World Cup. You're not just giving a bid to the World Cup. You're basically at the World Cup. Now, schoolboy football has just completed, and we see a number of these boys, both in Manning and the Costa Cup, youngsters, and they were very, very good, excited. But many of these players that I'm looking at, I don't know them, coach. I've never seen them. I suspect they are overseas-based players. Talk to us about the composition of the team.
Well, we had 85% of the players would have represented their respective schools in the recent schoolboy competition, Dakar Cup and Manning Cup. So it was mostly being based local based players. And then we had a couple of players, Nolan, Guy Bennett. Those players would have left our shores a few years ago. So homegrown again. And then outside of that, there were 3 or 4 players who would have, you would call or refer to overseas players. So it was mostly homegrown, local based players. We tried to select the best players possible, and we would have over the short period of time looked at close to 150 players, narrow it down each time we can. I think the final selection we end up at with 28 players. Had to select 21 out of that, 18 outfield players and 3 goalkeepers. I'm pretty certain that some of the players that did not make it, it was unfortunate. It was very close. We thought we had a balanced team as much as is possible. Yeah, so it was to a large extent mostly local based players based on the composition this time around.
I want to big up everybody in the chat, a lot of respect and congratulations coming in, coach. Bam Sport is asking how we can get this great coach on my show. Bam Sport, I just send the link in the chat. Just join the link, come and talk to Vassel yourself, and then you can make the arrangement. Can't tell me the box. Request the box. Just yeah, man, see the link the Bam. Just come in, join and come all our meds, and then you can work that out. Not a problem. Easy thing, man. Yes,
But Bam Sport have my link, man. Bam
Vassel.
Sport have my
You make
direct
me,
link, man. Some don't know.
me know. And something drop Bam have it, See it here now.
I don't know
So,
why,
I don't know if that's yeah. No, man, you don't want no invitation letter, man. Come, company. If I will come make your talk. So, Vassel, I heard you mention a while ago that the last game here, you wanted a draw to go through. That was similar to, I think, 2023, 2025, right? You were in this similar position. What have you learned? What did the coaching staff, the teams learned in terms of this situation now? Where you started, did you have a plan to say, all right, we'll go for a draw or you're going for the kill?
The kind of concern we had was that it's always a tricky situation when you go into important games like these and just needed a draw. It can be tricky in terms of how you approach a game. But we wanted to protect what we had and at the same time put the Canadian team under pressure because we knew once we get a goal or 2, it would have been easier for us. So that was kind of the approach. Keep what you have, protect what you have, but at the same time, let's try and nip a goal or 2. And let's try and present some challenge for Canada in terms of our attack. So that was the kind of approach. As I said before, as the same coaching staff from last year's experience. So we would have learned our lessons. One other thing that we did different, there was a little bit more effort in our strategic plan as a group. Each game we play, and we were always there guiding and motivating the players as much as we can. You just unfortunate last year we were very very close, 15 minutes away, didn't make it, but we were hell bent as a staff and as a group that this time around we would have crossed the line and we did that, so we're pretty proud.
And I seen that. So the JFF had the confidence in retaining the coaching staff, I believe, and with the additional. Before we are going any further, just talk to us. Tell the people, and because I don't know all of the members of the coaching staff, just talk to us about the coaching staff, right?
So it's Mr. Coach, it's Coach Downswell as head coach. And beside him, myself, Freddie Buckler, and Carlton Simmons. So he had Mr. Downswell had 3 lieutenants beside him, and that was the technical staff person in terms of coaching.
Okay. All right. So Donzel again, big up yourself, big man. You want me an interview, but me I go on easy. Coach.
Yeah, link
I
it,
have to
man.
touch it can. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna link him quick too. Coach, the other thing about this under 17 tournament, I've not seen a whole lot of promotion here in Jamaica going into the tournament. it seems like you had a low profile. Was that coming from the coaching staff, from the JFF, or the media was just not so much informed?
I think to an extent the media, but and again, preparation was short for us. So there wasn't much time in terms of presenting, what was happening out there to the public. As a staff, we quietly did what we had to do, get the team as prepared as was possible. The federation was always in support of the short period of time and the camps that we would have had. What we tried to do was to focus on making good use of the short time we have and focus on the team preparation and not just what happens out there or what will happen or getting the information out there. So I suppose all of that was up to the media and all of that. And again, um, let's face it, there are some people who was figuring that, hey, here we go again. Are we going to make it this time? So they were very skeptical, and you can't blame them. I mean, we feel that over the past two attempts we had the potential to achieve what we would have better than what we would have achieved. But it was a learning curve, and that's one of the things we kept telling to the players. Let's use the last time as a learning experience, and let's focus on the opportunity that we have this year and make good use of it.
But one of the things, and big up yourself, see your brethren Pessoa tell us something, Sorry, Chris, show. Wendell Danswell, the greatest youth coach ever in Jamaica. You can't take that from them, boss. Trust me, he owns it right now. You 2019-99, you 17-2011, you 17-2026. Big up yourself, and trust me, I promise you not, before the week is out, we will have Coach Danswell on the show. I'm 100% sure about that. So big up yourself, Pessoa, anyway, they know you're a coach. From the West. Yes, bless up yourself, Franklin. Yeah, man, tuning in. All right, bless up. So, coach, we're going back to the whole history of Jamaican football. It's about 15 years now. We have not been to any men's World Cup. You are aware of that. What pressure did that put on you and the coaching staff per se to qualify for this one?
Yeah, man, you mentioned that. So this is a significant milestone for the people, for the players, for the communities, for the federation. The fact that we would have out in the wilderness for so long, it was an added pressure, to be honest. Came that close last year and didn't make it was an added pressure. The fact that we would have not qualified for the men's youth World Cup for 15 years now was some sort of pressure. And we had to do extra work mentally, with units, with individual, with the team itself in terms of calming their nerves, and to withstand the pressure and to focus on the bigger picture and what they needed to do to go out there and do. But we keep reminding them that they can reach their name in history, and this is a great opportunity for them to achieve their personal goal, which is to um, first step in getting themselves in a professional environment. We know a lot of them have that as their personal goal. So we keep reminding them of those things, and it was just, strictly guidance and motivation. So,
Coach, one of your YouTube panelists, or should I say YouTuber, ranking, bigging up you earlier, but he's asking if there's any plan for Carlando Morris for the squad. I must say,
well,
it was a
certainly,
debate.
Carlando
It was not a,
well, certainly, as I said before, then we looked at over close to 150 players. And when we narrow it down, we ended up with 28 that we could have taken to the tournament, including Carlando Morris. To be honest, he's one of the young players that the federation and the program would have invested in from the under 14, under 15, and he did pretty good in the short span of time we had in terms of preparation. He was this close to have made the 21, albeit it was just 18 outfield players we had to take. And I'm pretty certain that Carlando Morris will have this chance in terms of our preparation going forward, and the staff is pretty certain of his ability, and I'm certain that Carlando will make an effort to put his best forward to make that team to Qatar come November.
But coach, that got difficult for Morris, man. That is a difficult task. I mean, at this stage, you miss out on the qualification just now, and then he has another chance. Yes, he may, but because of these youngsters, I may not bring up the particular discussion that I would go around it because they are youngsters. But the truth is, I hope that these sort of youngsters, especially their performance from the under 15 tournament, would have shown that they are the future. And as I've seen in discussion, I hope the JFF and you, as the part of the coaching staff, will be able to keep these youngsters together for a long time. Let's see if we can build from grassroots.
Yeah, man, that's it. Remember, 2 years ago we won the under 14 Caribbean Cup. The under 15 last year. A number of those players will have matriculated into the under 17 now. So we have a good unit coming up. As I said before, the federation would have invested in a group of youngsters, including Maris himself. But the truth is, I'm certain that when the preparation restarted, a number of the players that did not make the final cut will have their fair chance to continue to train and to make a good run at it in terms of trying to make the squad going forward. Those players will be given that opportunity. I'm pretty certain of that. It's just for them to make good use of it whenever it happens.
All right. So good news for Morris, good news for the rest who were left behind because it's a competitive thing. And sometimes just in the moment that the coaches have to make a decision and the final cut, you may not just be on your best coming through. But we all understand. But I pray for these youngsters because I know it will be difficult and possibly some things may happen that other players may, not be able to make the squad who made it this time. But such is the nature of the game. Vassel, a celebration mode. What was it like? What's going
Boy,
on around? I know you have dinner coming up, but talk to us about the celebration.
Boy, I tell you, yeah, we have dinner in 3 or 4 minutes. But yeah, man, it was a massive one. We did celebrate as much as we could have. Personally, I shed some tears, man. I took this one very personal. I was a part. I was a part of the last two, and this one was the third one. And when I envisaged going back home, empty-handed this time, it cost me a sleepless night last night. I didn't eat much. I was hell bent and personally giving my utmost best in terms of my responsibility among the coaching staff. It was a collective effort by everybody, the management staff, the federation, the coaching staff, the medical team, the manager, yeah man, and the head of delegation. I thought we did a pretty good job in terms of putting the heads together and the minds together to come up with the right plan, to come up with the right scenarios to help the boy to cross the line. So yeah, man, massive celebration as much as we could have at the grounds. Um, and now, as we prepare for dinner shortly, I'm certain that we'll continue with that celebration as much as we can, and hopefully when we arrive, we can get together as a group and just to greet and congratulate everybody who would have contributed to this success.
So, coming up in a few minutes time, as you mentioned, dinner. Who are the persons that will be at dinner? Are there any other JFF hierarchy who flown up for this final game?
And not necessarily. We travel with the squad, the medical team, the management team, head of delegation. We would have gotten support from some close relatives and friends at the game today. So those persons are around. I suppose they will join us in whatever we do tonight. Early flight out tomorrow morning for some people. So that is another part that we have to consider. But even though we did not gotten the physical presence of persons from within JFF, we will have gotten messages from the president, the GenSec, and other persons within the federation, of the sort of support before the game, the congratulations after the game. So yes, we got the support, not physically, but as much as we can in terms of, as they could have over the phone, messages, etc., after encouragement before the game, etc., etc.
Talk to us about the atmosphere in Costa Rica.
Great, man. We got a lot of appreciation and compliments from the other teams the other teams, Aruba and Cayman. We all stayed at the same hotel. Good camaraderie. When you look in the stands, I was so pleased to see two large Jamaican flags. So it was good. I mean, when we returned to the hotel, we saw some Jamaicans, hanging around and congratulating us again. So it's a good feeling to have seen some people just come around. They say wherever you go in Jamaica, there is always a Jamaican or two to lend support, and that's what we experienced this evening.
Food.
Yeah,
What's the food like?
Yeah.
You get the Jamaican food, or you just work along with Costa Rica?
Why we work along with? You see, when you go on at these tournaments, it's the food is designed by CONCACAF, so it's also always going to be strictly food like for athletes. And the food like for athletes is not fitted for Jamaicans, because the kind of food that we use, though. But we have to get, that is one of the things that's one of the job of the coaching staff. This is just not the pitch alone. People want to, people don't understand that when you go to these tournaments, it's not just getting acclimatized and get the players adjusted to the playing, the pitches and etc. and the weather. It's a meal. Personally, I didn't enjoy it. Had to just do what I had to do to keep alive. Some of the players, I'm certain, they didn't enjoy it, but they had to make good use of what was provided. It was good food, in terms of presenting the best diet for athletes, but it's not what they are accustomed to. And so, there was some pickiness here and there, but I thought we get them out to understand the importance of making the adjustment. And this is all part of the exposure overseas that you speak of, We're ever going to go overseas and end up into this sort of environment, and we just have to get everybody, especially the players, to acclimatize and get used to what is important for them to perform.
And so these are things that talk about people. That's why the necessary preparation in terms of overseas travel and games are very necessary. Not just the feel, not just to play, but of course to acclimatize to what foreign country have and not what you're used to here in Land Reggae Boy. Coach, see, you have one of your menace right here. The man they call Info Media. Info, listen yourself. You come when the benediction out to pronounce,
That's true, man. The man come with me, I put on my shoes. You go eat some food.
Coach, sorry idea interview, coach. Me tell you the truth.
I think it was sudden when I came back to the hotel in Bosnia and him said, boy, I'm going to keep a thing. It's sudden, but if you try my very best to see if I can.
No, about the reporting channel then. About the reporting channel then.
No.
Congratulations, you don't know that go.
Yeah, man. Big respect, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, cool. Yes.
So, coach, I know we have many more interviews to come, but I want to big up the boys, Make sure you're telling say that come from Saudi Crest and big up Coach Dunzel and the entire coaching staff. Because I don't want when I reach out to man, they shun me, because Coach Dunzel have an agent right now in the thing named Pessoa.
Yeah.
So when Pessoa talk, you have to be careful. You understand the way I say? So why you
it's a man from the West.
Man from the West, man.
Yeah, man. I'll tell him, man. I'll tell him definitely, man. I'm certain by the time, the next day or two, you reach out to him. And I'm certain that he will happily join and share his thing.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to share this, because as Mr. we don't make no mention of no player's name away from one outside of the squad tonight. So we have a lot to talk about. But I know you have dinner. I'm not going to sleep because the celebration is real and I want you to enjoy the best with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, man. And anytime. I mean, the entire team will be back tomorrow. Some, of course, going back, up north to school. Some of the coaches, Simmons and Freddie going back. Half of the group will return tomorrow. Different times, but yeah, I'm certain that not there too. You will get as much info and much response from those who are involved.
Yeah, man, most definitely. You go on no campus, but color purple. See a red, see a yellow, green and black we are talking about tonight.
Well. I was hoping that you didn't mention the word purple tonight, but that's for
I don't
another
mean
time.
him. Look, sir. Look for the thing. Him. I don't mean. So you might be shocked
Hey,
by life.
I tell you something. When the ref blow, when it got the final whistle, you know, I was so excited that I run and I never realized that I was running to the wrong keeper to celebrate. And guess what?
Because
That wrong keeper was in full purple. Some man come over to me. Some man come over to me after the match and I say, "Big man, you think I can't see you today? I run go to the purple." Yeah, man. But respect, man, and we talk.
All right,
yeah,
coach.
Blessed. All right. So that was assistant coach of the.
You didn't know. When you done this early, they didn't know we had the round up. I said done this early.
No, listen, let me tell you something. I sent him a message after the game. He never responded till 7:30.
You know, say.
So,
I your message me sick and me just the message. Me left your phone in and gone for an next conversation. Me left your phone in and gone for an next conversation. Yes, I know. So me left your phone and gone for an next conversation. Because me a charge if you can do 8:35 show. Me come back up on this interview. Yeah, you short change me, brethren. You short change me. You have all of me number. They should have called me. You short change me.
Info. Listen to everything said. But the man linked me 7:30 and say, "Yeah, man." I say, "All right, Vassel, I'll send you a link."
Me know, man. Me know.
We try to see if you
Me
can
know.
do it. And me tell you.
You know I'm a coach that. You know I'm a coach that.
Yes,
you know
so
I'm a coach
tell
that.
me say, is it at this time or 10 o'clock? I say, no, I take it now. So you don't know people. As me say, many more to come.
Me go over go do a 16 round up though.
You see it all on the info. I you cause this thing and I say everybody I take me on board. Sorry, I saw you go on. How me go on? When you get the show, bro, when you take on a thing panty, you know, look out for sure. Always look out. So info you're going live.
Yeah, me do 16 round up.
Bless yourself and thank you. All right. So stay tuned.
Yeah, man.
A lot more interviews to come. And we're going to get a few of these youths. You know.
Yeah, but that and I'm for this. I'm a producer behind the scene that show. You tell the people I'm a producer.
But I don't know. I'm afraid to tell them because with this late arrival, we might not see you again.
All right, we'll go over YouTube.
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself. So people, respect to everyone. Campus, no, man. No campus. Me not short change it. As me say, me get that half an hour, so me just work with it. You see what me I say? And the half an hour was very, very short. But that's what things say. No worry, man. Why make it all up? So we have big things. I promise you, so we soon start back the show regular to get those persons to interview. As me tell you, there's a lot of guests waiting and looking forward to. So we're going to take it up. Bless up yourself, RR. Sorry, big up the first boss, aka Tutu. What you mean, man? Vassel Reynolds from back in the days. So, people, this is where we say good night to you. And remember, join Info Media. I'm going to run up the under 14, under 16. Bless up. See you on the other side.